So here's the thing about perfectionism. A lot of people think that perfectionism is their superpower, right? Especially high achievers. They say, well, everything I've built is because of my perfectionism. But you've actually typically succeeded despite your perfectionism, not because of it. Here's what I mean. If you think about it, perfection doesn't exist, right? Nothing in life is perfect. So perfectionism is expecting yourself to attain the unattainable. So like when you're waiting for the perfect plan before you actually start, when you're waiting to feel fully ready and you've checked off all the boxes before you do the thing, that typically isn't going to happen, right? Because you're never going to have the perfect plan. Well, maybe you say, okay, Corey, but I have really high standards for myself. I don't want to put something out there, put my name behind something until it is perfect. You're just bullshitting yourself. Everybody has high standards for themselves and the work they put out. There's a difference between having a high standard and an unrealistically high standard, which is perfectionism. Right? I used to always think, well, until I have the perfect plan, I'm not going to put myself or my ideas out there. Until I can find a 100% foolproof perfect plan, I'm just not even going to try. So I would think, I would tinker, I would write out everything. I would try to run it by friends who I knew were super critical, because I was like, well, if I can create something that they can't poke holes in, then that is the perfect idea that I should execute. But that never happened. Years went by and I didn't do anything because I never found the perfect plan, because the perfect plan never existed. Then I realized perfectionism isn't actually the problem most people struggle with. It's fear. See, perfectionism serves the function to help us avoid facing something we're afraid of. So like the 4 most common limiting beliefs or fears I consistently see creators and entrepreneurs struggle with are what I call the 4 horsemen of fear, which are fear of failure, fear of ridicule, which is like judgment, fear of uncertainty, which is, well, which decision is the right one, and then fear of success. Now, most of the time, perfectionism, all it's really doing is helping us kind of kick the can down the road, to wait until we feel ready or fully prepared, or we've created something that is unassailable in its perfection before we put ourselves and our ideas out into the world. But the reality is we're just afraid. So our perfectionism is helping us avoid facing our fear. Maybe I'm deeply afraid that this project is going to fail. So I tell myself, well, okay, until I feel it is perfect, I'm not going to launch it. I'm not going to hit publish. Or if I'm afraid that my friends and family or my audience is going to criticize it, that fear of ridicule, well, then now I'm going to say, well, they won't criticize something that's perfect. So until I can create something that is above criticism, beyond reproach, I'm not going to do anything. Or if I'm afraid of uncertainty, I'm so afraid of making the wrong decision, I spend all of my time thinking and planning and trying to find the quote unquote right or perfect answer, the perfect tech stack for my business, the perfect topics to talk about, the perfect niche, the perfect business plan, whatever. Because I'm so afraid of making the wrong decision. Well, should I go with this platform or that platform? Should I talk about this or that? Should I develop this product or that product? Well, until I find the perfect solution, I do nothing. Or maybe I'm deeply afraid that success is going to change me for the worse. So then now my perfectionism is basically allowing me to avoid facing that, risking, well, maybe if I succeed, maybe that means I'm going to lose my ambition. Or maybe I deeply believe that I don't deserve success because something about me is inherently not good enough. So until I feel perfect, until I feel like I've created something perfect, I don't do anything. And that's also the reason why, if you have succeeded so far, you've succeeded in spite of your perfectionism and not because of it. Understand the root cause of perfectionism. It's rooted typically in some sort of fear, some sort of insecurity that you think waiting until something is perfect is the solution, when the reality is nothing's perfect. Perfection is unattainable, but progress is attainable. Anytime before I publish something, I ask myself one question and I tell myself one thing. The question I ask is this as good as I can make it today? Not, is this as good as it can be? Because the answer is always going to be no, right? You can always make it better in the future. But if this is as good as I am capable today, the current version of me, is this as good as I can make it today? If the answer is yes, then I hit publish. So that's the question I ask. And then the thing I tell myself is, this is V1. I can always make it better later, but I can't make it better without feedback. And I can't get feedback unless I put it out into the world. I cannot grow. My business cannot grow. My content cannot grow unless I put myself and my ideas out into the world. I'm not proud of anything I've created because it's all imperfect. I am proud that I hit publish despite its imperfection, because that allows me to put myself and my ideas out into the world, to get feedback, and to attain progress day by day. So if there's one piece of advice or takeaway that I could kind of leave you with, it's pursue progress over perfection. Have high standards, expect the most out of yourself that you know you're capable of achieving, but realize perfectionism is never going to happen, but progress can. Until next time, take it easy.